Today, DSS is still trying to figure out how a 3-year-old was able to walk away from a Taylor's daycare unnoticed for more than an hour. The child left kids and company daycare, wandered across the street, and 2 women found her. And they called Greenville County deputies who returned the child and told the girl's parents. Now, Brianna Smith broke this story yesterday, and you told us then that the daycare had a lot of violations, but the story doesn't end there.
Absolutely. So in 2 years, the daycare and kids and company saw 66 violations. Now, a lot of those were minor, paint chipping off walls, different dangerous situations, but some of them were so important that the state required a corrective action plan, and that may now happen again. The shocking part that we found out is that parents may never know that this could be happening at their daycare as well. At Miss Eddie's daycare.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
The director of this A+ rated facility knows every child's name and where each child is supposed to be.
This chart goes with us everywhere we go.
This tracking chart is required by all daycares, but the sound is not. Because of fire codes, the handles on the doors must be low enough for a child to open. The door must also never be locked from the inside, which was a problem at Kids and Company, as a 3-year-old opened the door herself and crossed this street to be found by strangers.
Well, we consider a child getting out of the center to be very, very serious.
We spoke to the director of early childhood education at DSS over the phone. We wanted to know why a daycare with 66 violations in just 2 years didn't have a stricter punishment.
We believe that we will be taking very hard action on it.
That hard action would be in the form of a corrective action plan, one that Kids and Company saw just a year ago.
We had concern about the number of violations, and so in October of 2014 we put them on what we call a corrective action plan because and that's just very close monitoring for 90 days.
Kids and Company was visited 6 times during that 90 days, finally getting the okay in February. But now dangerous violations have popped up again at the same facility. But DSS can't shut their doors.
We actually don't have the legal authority to walk in and shut a facility down in this state.
Now, if there is a very emergency situation, they will go in and issue an injunction there. But DSS is never going to notify parents of those violations, even if there's a corrective action plan in place. It's really scary. That's because they don't have a list of every child enrolled in those daycares.
Yeah, and the sad thing is this seems to be a story that keeps repeating itself. I did an investigation on a similar incident last year, and you'd think that in the very least, if DSS can't inform the parents, as you've been telling us, that there would be a law that requires the daycare to inform parents.
Yeah, that's not the case. The daycare usually only informs the child and the parent that's associated with this problem. But you can always ask your daycare about that situation. You can also go online and look up what that violation is and other violations that they may have had. We've got that under links we mentioned on WSPA.com.
Thank you, Brianna.